with the UNDP, which is already ongoing, partnerships between also us and the World Bank, between the government and the government of UK, and between the government and European Union. These are existing partnerships that are cut across ministries. But particularly for this ministry, we want to retrofit the programs that we have been having with them and see if we can urgently put some of the already committed resources towards making the police station a center of excellence and making it mandatory for all these police stations to have the CCTV cameras. I also needed to say that it is not just enough to talk about the CCTV. We are speaking about police stations that have very old infrastructure. Some of the police stations are actually colonial infrastructure. So it requires also building of the infrastructure itself. And again, through our Jukwaa la Usalama and our engagement with national government Constitutional Development Fund, we've been seeing ways of ensuring that we modernize most of these police stations, because you can also may want to put new ICT materials, the laptops, the CCTVs and Wi-Fi and so forth in an environment that has very old infrastructure or even barely existing infrastructure. Some of the police stations are Mabati police stations and so forth. So we will want to, as we work on the accountability and transparency in the police stations, we want to ensure that we build on the infrastructure within the police station. The last three questions.
Yes, Bwana Waziri, my name is Eric Orenda for Citizen Radio. There's been a clamor and push from a section of Kenyans for the DIG Lagat to set aside on his side. And some are even threatening to go to the street from tomorrow. From where you say, do you think that's the prudent path to take maybe to suppress the tension, the pressure of protest ahead of tomorrow? Thank you.
Mr. CS, my name is Winfrey Owino from KTN. You've mentioned digitization of occurrence books. And this is not something new. We actually heard of it first time with the previous regime. So what is the progress with what the previous regime had started? And what really is the update based on what you had told us before as the ministry?
Thank you. The last one, if any, and if none, then I appreciate.
Good afternoon. I'm Camila Lunani from K24. And I was asking, or many Kenyans are asking, when will this end? Like, when will the police brutality end? So that Kenyans can have trust in the police with their lives, with certain issues that they may be going through. Can we believe that the police will take care of us?
Thank you very much. First, let me say that on the question of the first question by Eric was in relation to the role of the DIG in the question of the issue to do with the murder of Mr. Albert Ojwang. I'd like to say that, and whether or not he should resign. I'd like to say that the investigations, as I've already said earlier, are going on with IPOA. IPOA is doing its part in terms of investigations. DIG Lagat is a seasoned police officer who understands what it takes to carry out matters of investigations and where or whether or not his conduct or act or position can affect that investigations. And I think we will cross the bridge when we reach there. When there is a closer relationship between the investigation that IPOA is doing and what he considers to be an interference, I think we will cross that bridge when we reach there. At the moment, let's leave the IPOA to do its part, but also the DIG himself to assess the extent of his involvement based on the investigations that are going, or his position vis-a-vis the investigations, and then make that decision when we cross there. I would not like to be the CS who will make the decision for him. It is important that that is achieved, the threshold of the investigations, where it is, and whether or not the DIG will see that his position or position in office is going to interfere with that investigation. I'm sure when that threshold is achieved, we will cross that bridge when we reach there. On the question of digitization of OB, this has been a long time promise, and I agree with you that it's been a promise from previous administration to now. We want to move it from promise to reality. And we know the reasons why this is serious is because if we have a digitized OB, it will help us to make sure that any reported incident can be tamper-proof. It can also be tracked to ensure that whether or not someone wanted to interfere or change the position of a particular reporting that was made. So we will not have a situation where like we saw in the other incidents, that somebody had reported there is allegations that the report was changed and so forth. So digitized occurrence book will really help us a great deal. And I have now given timeline. Maybe in the past there was no promise of timeline. I've given in the next 1 year, we would like to see a digitized occurrence book. And then lastly, Camila has asked a very important question. When will police brutality end? We would like to see that police brutality ends now. It is the duty of any right-thinking member of society, including our cabinet secretary and government, to see that police brutality ends immediately. Because it is not right that police stations, for example, or police officers who are expected to protect the citizens are brutalizing citizens. But as you know, reality on the ground is that this is an area that governments and countries all over the world have struggled with over time. Even the most advanced democracies, like the case of the US with the George Floyd a few years ago. But very conscious societies will ensure that when an incident happens like the one for Mr. Albert Ojwang, you don't, as unfortunate as it is, you don't allow that incident to be part of the statistics. It's also an opportunity for us to rise up and say, what else can we do? Like in the instance that we have proposed here, what else can we do to make the police station safe in respect and honor of those who have suffered, like the case of Albert Ojwang? That way, we can put meaningful, we can have meaningful results based on the otherwise negative and terrible incident. We can be able to turn around and say, so that doesn't happen to any other citizen, this is an opportunity again to up our game in terms of reform. But if you ask me, this is an area that is long overdue. But as I read in my statement, we've made significant improvement from 2010 when we promulgated our new constitution, and we can do even far much more. But I also need to ask our citizens that we need to support each other. We need to support the police officers. If you are, like the case that happened the other day, somebody's outrightly assaulting a police officer, you know, insulting a police officer, provoking. You are holding a machete. You know, you saw the case of Nakuru, someone having a panga and showing directly to the police officer. And we are all as Kenyans not enraged as if a police officer has shown or pointed a gun to a civilian. It should apply both ways. And I request you in the media, please stop profiling criminals and calling them protesters. I saw in one of the media houses the other day, somebody's announcing, saying, oh yeah, some of the protesters have burned vehicles, some of the protesters have looted. How do you still give them a constitutional status of Article 37? Protesters are expected to be civilized people who are making a statement, not the ones who are burning vehicles, looting shops, attacking civilians, throwing stones at the police officer, burning police vehicles. We have very few police vehicles, but many of them have been burned in this instance. Burning a police station, invading parliament. I am yet to see a media house that calls out all those who invaded parliament. In any civilized society in the world, anybody who invaded parliament would have been called a terrorist, straight, in many countries. But here in Kenya, we are still saying peaceful protesters invaded parliament. How can